All right. So, hey there, it's Joycelyn Wells with Mondays with Manswell, and I am here with Manswell T. Peterson, candidate for Secretary of State of Georgia. And he promised us 15 minutes on Mondays to talk about his campaign, to talk about what his plans are, and just let us know how he's doing. So, let's go. How are you? How's it going?
It's going great. Want to announce something here that your people can actually enjoy or be satisfied with. We are in 80 plus counties in Georgia now, which means we have representation in 80 plus of the 159 counties. We added Carrollton, Georgia today, so we are excited about that. It's exciting to know that you're in that many counties, and we're only 10 months away from the primary, and people think that's a long time.
It's
It's
not.
really not.
No.
It's really not, because it's gonna fly by, and before you know it, it'll be Thanksgiving and Christmas time again, and if you ever put the work in, it's not gonna work. So
Right. Well,
our
congratulations. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Our actually quarter numbers, we have a quarter report coming up at the end of June. I don't know how close we're gonna get. We had a goal of 300,000 for this quarter. It's gonna be close,
Okay.
so we'll see how close we are. But next quarter we're really amping it up. So next quarter goal is gonna be 1.5 million. So we are excited about that as well. So we are getting the people, we are getting everything set up. So
So
if
what
we
does
can
the
pull that,
goal what does the goal entail? Like what do you need from the viewers? Is the goal like number of people who've contributed financially, number of people who volunteer? Like what goal are you talking about?
okay, the goal is the amount raised. Like for this
Okay,
quarter that's ending June 30th, our goal was 300,000, and we're close, but we're not. We
close
still
enough.
got some days left. So we're gonna
Yeah,
try to
yeah,
push.
yeah, yeah.
We're,
Okay.
we're we're gonna try to push some more people. And believe it or not, how they've been doing it, we raised, I would say, 98% of that by people giving 5, 10, 20, $50. And
Awesome.
that's how we were able to do that. And so we are excited about that. And so next quarter goal, like I said, is 1.5 million. It's when
Okay.
we really have to amp it up because we got a lot of stuff we need to do. We'll
Hmm.
be on the road more
Okay.
after the summer, going into the fall, just to really, really get the message out there, get the name recognition out there even more.
Okay.
So it's exciting, and at the same time, it's still nerve wracking because
I'm sure.
it's just like we had that goal. We were like, okay, wow, we're really gonna probably get it, and so we're
Mhm.
close. So if you're watching, if you're listening, or if you're hearing this, you can go to the link on the Women for Manswell page. You can do your quick donation. We ask some people if they can't be recurring donors, and that helps because
That still
literally,
helps. Right.
like I said, people they're giving 5, 10, 20, $50 a month, and that makes a difference
Yep.
because to be successful, we have to be able to hit the road.
Yeah.
We don't want to run this, and that's been the Democrat problem for the longest. We've always tried to run races mobily from home,
Hmm. And
whereas in
try to finance them yourself, and you can't finance them. The costs are crazy, and it just doesn't
yes,
allow to get to enough people. So go to
right,
manswellforgeorgia.org. That is your website, your campaign website.
dot com, yeah,
Dot com. Okay, so manswellforgeorgia.com. There's Women's for Manswell on Facebook.
mhm,
You can go to that page and you can make a donation at Act Blue. And let's give him our support. We're in more than 80%, I mean, more than 50% of the counties right now. So you are spreading blue all over
mhm.
Georgia. So congratulations to you for that. We're really proud
Yes,
of you.
we are.
Yeah.
You know,
And before we
thank
start,
you. I
you said you,
appreciate that. That means a lot.
yeah, it does. Me, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
that
It is
means a
amazing. And you came out early and started gaining ground, and you probably got other people looking like, well, wait, I wasn't going to start until you really lit the fire in this race, and you're going to make everybody proud.
lot.
So this it's amazing, and I'm already so proud of you and the steps that you're taking. So thank you,
Thank
and
you.
thank you
Thank
for
you. Thank you.
giving us this time. I mean, this is a lot of time for you. You could be doing something else, and
No problem.
you're here, so I appreciate that tremendously. And so you mentioned you were going to talk about some use your 15 minutes to talk about some voter information. What were you thinking with that?
Yes. All right. Today we're going to talk about voter education. Um, and for the longest, when you think about the Secretary of State office, everybody talks about voting, 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 but they never talk about the voter education part of that. That is a serious aspect of it when it comes down to when we go to the voting booths, a lot of times people are held up because they're not informed about the amendments. The amendments are what hold a lot of people. Now you're sitting trying to read this whole 9 paragraph thing explaining an amendment to you. So that's one of the things I wanted to push forward to where, with my Secretary of State app that I want to do, I want to make sure that before you even go to early vote, you have a full understanding of all of the amendments. And you're going to be able to access that via your Secretary of State app. So when you log in, those amendments will be there. So now you're not sitting there trying to read and guess, should I vote yes or no on this amendment? And
Right.
that is a big, big thing for
It-
so many people. So it's exciting news. I'm excited about that. And believe it or not, the more we go out talking to people, they're excited knowing that they have something coming like that.
yeah.
Because for so long, you had to go in there and just read the first
And
couple lines and guess whether or not, if this is good for me or not. And there's some amendments that have passed, and you sit back like, I didn't know all of that was in
right,
there. And
right.
so with the voter education, now we can avoid that pitfall.
Well, let me ask you this about the voter education piece, because so the amendments are written in legal ease. So they're written in the legal terms.
Mhm.
Lay people like myself, I don't know what they're talking about. So I do end up guessing. But when you get someone to translate or interpret to lay people, how do you make sure that it's non-biased? How do you make sure it's straight words and not leaning red or leaning blue when you're talking about putting the taking the legal, not taking the legal part out, but translating the legal to the lay person? How do you do that? Do you
Well,
know?
and that's a very good question. Um, the way we're gonna do it, we're gonna present the amendment as is, first of all,
Okay.
and then we're gonna actually point you in a direction so you can actually research more about it. And
Okay.
that way, it does not lean left or right, or for the big guys or the little guys.
Mhm.
Our goal is not to try to influence you how to vote.
Of
Our
course.
goal is to get you the information. And
Right.
so that is the biggest thing because people are like, well, how am I going to understand it? Well, because I think just about everybody in Georgia, almost everybody in Georgia has a smartphone. I got one older veteran, he has a flip phone. So obviously he's going to have a very hard time doing it. But if you have a smartphone or you have a laptop or a tablet, at least you can go Google it now. Because I want to give you the information because if you don't know it's there, you know to go Google it. And so that's why I want those type of things up at least 30 days prior to early voting, not your
Yeah.
regular voting. I want it prior to early voting.
Early
And that way,
And
when you
so,
go and you say, okay, I looked at this one.
yeah. And you know what's good about that when you're talking about it and even Googling it, because you will be in the Secretary of State's office, you can literally maintain a database of links explaining it. So when you have it, here's the link to explain it, and you can toggle between the two. So
Right.
there's literally some opportunity to manage the information, even as much as not just Google, but just to be able to say, this is our official link to the layperson information. Like this is our, you know what I'm saying? So that's really a
Right.
tremendous idea because I mean, I'm graduate school educated and I'm reading those things and I still struggle with what the heck are they talking about? Like,
I mean, exactly. I'm graduate school educated as well, and I sit here sometimes. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, hold on. What does this thing really mean? Because it's like when you're reading it, it's like talking to Charlie Brown's mama. Wah 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 wah
yeah.
wah 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 wah. And I'm like,
Right.
wait a minute, hold on now. Wait, what
Yeah.
are you trying to get me to say? What are you trying to explain to me? So by us putting it out there early, it gives people a chance to Google it,
Yeah.
talk to other friends, get on
Yeah.
social media, ask your friends, hey guys, can somebody break this down for me? I
Mhm.
saw this on my app and I want to know. And it's
What
going to
is
start conversations.
yes.
And so what's going to happen if you're trying to slide something across the voters of Georgia, you won't be able to do that anymore once we get in office. And that's the biggest thing. They're going to be like, wow. So
Yeah.
now I know what those 6 amendments are because that takes up so much time. You know that
Oh
when
yeah,
you're in there trying to
absolutely.
read those long amendments, it takes up so much time. And guess what that's going to do when you're informed before you go? It's going to make the lines go faster because now
Right.
you're going to just say, on this amendment, the first one, I'm voting no. On this one, I'm voting yes. On this one, I'm voting yes. On this one, I'm voting yes. On this one, I'm voting no. Because you've had time to research and
Right.
learn about them. Even those who are really, not as educated, they have a chance to research as well, or
Yeah.
have some of their, younger siblings or younger family members break it down for them So now that we all know what's going on with that, and to me, that's the most important thing.
And
That's the most important thing right there.
you, you mentioned speeding the lines up, and you really will, if you get the opportunity to develop this app, as you mentioned, that's going to speed the lines up, even just developing, because it gives different options for being able to cast your vote securely, or to at least what time you're going to go. You can even show the busy times and the slow times. I mean, there's so many
Mhm.
possibilities with having this
Exactly.
app that it's like,
Exactly.
whoa, like it's amazing. Like notifications that pop up.
Yeah, we're gonna
Oh, it's slow now.
and we're like some of the bigger counties. When we want to work with them, like a Fulton, Chatham County and Savannah, DeKalb County, Cobb County, Gwinnett. We want to
Fulton.
work with them
Yep,
and say, okay, how long is your waiting time? Let us know so we can update people on the app. That way,
yep.
people aren't having to go to the newspapers online or to the TV station online. Now they go right to the app and say, okay, there's a 3 hour wait.
And you know you can do
Okay,
it
then
because,
update again. Nah.
well, here's the thing. You know you can do
Yeah,
it.
they do the
Didn't
work.
that happen with the COVID vaccine? Didn't you know at the COVID
Hmm.
site how long the wait was? So you know it's possible.
Yes,
You know that level of
and that is
is
why we want to
possible.
do it.
Yeah, yeah, you know it.
That's
So
why we want to do it because it's
man,
there. And so, like I said, the people who are against my voting app, they're against shorter lines. They're against informed, educated voters, and
they're
it's
against,
like
they didn't
literally,
think of it. They're against, they didn't think
yeah,
of it. That's the only reason they
yeah,
against it, because
that's
they
what it
didn't
is,
think of
and
it.
that's what it is. And so, you got people now who are like, well, we don't know. I said, well, when the app first comes out, it's going to be all about voter education, and so we're going to use those tools. And so as it progresses, it is my hope to get the legislator of Georgia behind it so
Yeah.
that we can actually do the voting on there as well. So,
Wow.
it goes from just being an education to voting. So imagine now you get to educate yourself and
I
then you're
love it.
sitting at home instead of you being one of the people that's causing the line for 3 hours. Now
Yeah.
you get to vote at home. And I know people, the biggest thing, and I tell people this all the time. People are worried about what if somebody's forcing somebody else to vote like that at home. You know, the people who are going to vote, most of them are. There's no other way to say it. There ain't no about how they vote or who they're voting for.
They're
So
gonna vote anyway.
there's not going to be a big urge of people knocking on your door saying, "Hey, you got to have. I need you to vote this way." No, you don't
No,
have to vote that way. I
no.
want you to vote the way you want to vote. But at the same time, I'm working to get voting done faster, but I'm still making sure that the vote is secure.
Right. Yeah.
And so now we don't have those long wait lines because the one thing about Georgia when it comes to voting is that we know there's always 3 or 4 counties and they're huge counties.
Hmm.
If I can make the voting faster, that's what I'm going to do. So
Yeah.
when it comes to Fulton, like I said, I want to triple the amount of computers for Fulton. I
Right.
want to triple the amount of computers for Savannah. I want to triple the amount of computers for DeKalb and Gwinnett. That way, those votes can be done faster. And
Faster.
see, this is something that they don't want because if voting is done faster and smoother, then more people will participate.
And you know
I
what
think
else I think would be a great thing for you to highlight is the importance of poll workers. I think in communities, I won't even say Black American communities, I would say in communities across the state, we don't know that we can work the polls during election. We don't know
right,
that we can be a part of that solution. We feel like so
right,
whoever's doing it has been chosen. Like I know that you can apply to register, I mean to work the polls, but I've never seen an ad to be a poll worker. So if I haven't seen it, other people haven't seen it either. And to think, if you
right,
can work the polls for 2 or 3 weekends in early voting and make some extra money working the polls and
right,
have input, like
right.
even that kind of information would be crazy important.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
I
it
love
is. It's big because we're gonna do post training throughout the year,
Yeah.
and that will we want a list of people. That way,
Yeah.
when it comes time, like I said, in Fulton, I want to triple everything. Computers,
Yeah.
poll workers, I want to triple all of that because there are people out there who really truly want to help from the heart.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
and if we can actually make that process faster, I'm telling you, and
Yep.
I know we can. They just got to give me the chance to do it
Yes.
because right now I haven't heard anybody else in this race talk about improving the voting speed because
No.
you can't tell me that won't help.
Right.
When you start getting lines that are out there, I know we have like restrictions on the times. I get that.
Yeah.
It starts at 7 o'clock in the morning, ends at 7 o'clock in the evening. That's fine. But
Yeah.
see, I want everybody to be in there, 6:15. I want the computers being checked.
Yeah.
I want to make sure the power is good, make sure everything's good.
All that.
So, but
Yep.
those lines that I want, the separate lines for the seniors and disabled and the
Oh,
able-bodied people.
that
That
is
way the seniors,
phenomenal.
and the disabled people are not holding up the able-bodied people. They can
That's
go in there, boom, 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 get out. And so once we get all the seniors and disabled people out, then we start pulling from the front of the line of the able-bodied people. And now we just doubled the amount of
you
people
are.
going through the line voting.
That is
I'm
brilliant.
telling you, it's like
And look,
that we have a
we
plan
can
for
do
that.
that because we did it in the pandemic. Seniors shop between 6 and
Right,
7. Like we've done.
right,
We know that that can work. We know that people respect the hours for seniors and veterans. That's brilliant. I love that.
right.
Love it.
Right. I'm telling you, it's like literally, but see, they're gonna have their own line. And so
Yeah.
that's the cool thing about it. So when you come up there, it's gonna be like seniors and disabled veterans over, and it's gonna have arrows pointing to that part.
Yeah.
Able-bodied people that way. And
Oh,
so now when they're getting through the line, they're finished. Now we just pull from the front of the line, and now we're just pulling people going through
yeah.
faster, faster, faster. And we're
Oh,
eating
I
that
love
time up when they have to sit in line. So it
I
doesn't
love
matter
it.
where you stay in Georgia. I want to make sure we do that because we have enough people who want to help.
Yeah.
Again, everything that I'm doing is for Georgia.
For Georgia.
Notice I didn't say I'm doing it for the Democrats or Republicans.
For
I
Georgia.
said I'm doing it for Georgia,
Listen, you are
and that's the
touching
bigger
on
difference.
you've touched some hot buttons. People don't like to wait. Wherever they are, the lines are long, it's discouraging.
Right,
Seniors, elders,
right,
veterans don't want or may not be able to. I mean, these are hot buttons cross
right,
culturally. So it doesn't matter. It's just like
right.
these are things that will benefit the state. And I am so excited about all of them. So this is our 15 minutes with Mondays with Manswell. What do you want to end with, Manswell? What do you want us to do? Tell us what to do.
I want to end with this right here, guys. We got the momentum. We got half of the state covered. Look, if you want to know if your state's covered, inbox me, send a message, join the elect group, like the Women's for Manswell page. We're gonna get these pages up, get them going because we have people coming through.
Yes,
Like we have a video right now that reached over 8,000 people, and I tell people that's how we do it, guys. That's how we do it by people actually sharing the videos. You can share the video, so keep working it, keep pumping it. Tell your family, tell your friends, and especially my younger voters. I want you. I need you. We gotta change the way things are done because what I'm doing is I'm setting this up for somebody behind me to come take over because here's a big thing. I'm not running for Secretary of State to set up a stepping stone
yeah.
for
You said
lieutenant
that.
governor or
Yeah.
Congress or Senate. No, I'm only going to be Secretary of State. When I go back to Albany after my time in Atlanta, I'm going back as the former Secretary of State, and I'm not running for anything else after that.
I love it.
Anything else. You have my word on that. You can come back to this video. You can say, Mansfield been Secretary of State for 8 years, 12 years, and he did not run for anything else. I'm not running for anything else.
Well, I
I'm
love
gonna
it.
be running for, most retired veterans. That's what I'm gonna run for.
Well, I love it. And I appreciate you so much. And as you know, I'm doing everything that I can to make sure that I'm supportive and I'm on the team. And I appreciate these 15 minutes and just able to have you talk to us about what your plans are. And if you're tired or if you're hungry and you're somewhere you want to eat, who you want to meet, where you're going to be, thank you for sharing that with us. And we're just going to keep doing it every Monday. So this is
Every
Manswell
Monday.
Peterson. He is candidate for Secretary of State of Georgia. I am Joycelyn Wells, and this has been Mondays with Manswell. We'll see you next week.
See you
Bye.
guys. Bye bye.